Let us look at the sixth problem on part B. So here we are supposed to write a shell script to accept many characters. That is, we are supposed to accept a string and then we are supposed to count the individual vowels, digits, spaces, special character and consonants. So let's look at this particular problem. Let's analyze it first and then we will try to solve it. So we are given a set of characters. From there we are supposed to find the individual vowels. So let's look at the vowels in English that we are familiar with: A, E, I, O, U. These are vowels in English, and rest of the characters happens to be consonants. So we are supposed to find the count of A. How many A's are there in a given set of characters? How many E's are there? How many I's and O and U? So we are supposed to count individually. We are supposed to count them. So that is what they have said. Individual vowels. We are supposed to count the individual vowels, and then the remaining we can count the consonant. Apart from that, we are supposed to count the digits. If at all any digits are typed, we are supposed to find the digit and the spaces which are there in a given set of characters, as well as the special characters. To give you an example, let us take a simple word. I'm going to take this one. Write a program. I'll take this as the given set of characters. And what is that we are supposed to do? We are supposed to find take the individual characters. So W, you take this W, and W is not part of the vowels. So which are the vowels? So A, E, I, O, U. These are vowels in English. So it is not part of the vowel. So we are going to say that this is the consonant. Okay. Then we have R, which is also not the vowel. So we will increment the consonant as 2. Then we have I. So this is the I count. So I'm going to increase the I by 1, saying that there is 1 occurrence of I. Then T, which is not a vowel, so it is going to be a consonant. Then E, which is a vowel, so I'm going to increase the count of it as 1. Then we have A, which is again a vowel. Then we have P, which is the consonant, so I'm going to make the number of consonant as 4 as of now. And then we have in between, if you notice here, by the way, there are spaces. There are 2 spaces are there, so I'm going to increase the count of spaces as 2. Let's go to the next one, R, which is again a consonant. O, which is a vowel. So let's go over here. G, which is again a consonant. So I'm going to increase the consonant. Then we have R. Then we have A, which is a vowel. So I'm going to increase it. And then we have M. I'm going to increase them. So this is going to be 4 plus 3, which is going to be 7. So there will be 7 consonants, 2 spaces, and 2 vowel A, 1 vowel IE, 1 vowel I, 1 vowel O, and 0 vowel U. This is what we are supposed to do. And since there are no digits are there, digit count will be 0. So this is what we are supposed to do. Now suppose if you take this string, there are some special characters. So like the exclamation mark, the plus symbol, which are not the alphabets. If such things are there, then we will also mark the number of special characters. So this is what we are supposed to do it. Now there are some minor things that we must understand. When we talk about the vowels in English, we are all familiar that A, E, I, O, U are vowels. But when it comes to the computer science, it is not the end of it. In computer science, we have one other set, that is A, E, I, O, U. And we know that computers distinguish between the capitals and the small case. So when I take the count of A, there is also the capital A which need to be considered. So generally, in this kind of situation, what we do is a given set of a string or a set of characters are converted into either small case or capitals. So depending upon the situation, we are going to convert it into capital. So given any text, if it is in small case or in mixed case, we will just convert them into capitals and then we start counting them. So if suppose for example, if you take this word write, W will be in capitals, remaining RITA is in small case. So what we do is we convert all of them into capitals and then we run our algorithm. So let's go ahead and let's try to accept the set of characters and then we will see what we can do about that. So I'm going to go to my notepad over here, and in my notepad I'm going to go to my language and I'm going to set the language as shell. So once I have done that thing, I'm going to first echo and I'm going to say enter a sentence. Okay. Enter a sentence and then I am going to read the string, whichever the string is given. Now what is that we are supposed to do? We are supposed to count the individual vowels. So how many vowels are there? We know that the vowels are there like A, E, I, O, U. These are all vowels. I'm going to take the variable as a count of A, that is CA, count of E, that is CE, count of I, that is CI, count of O, that is CO, and count of U, that is CU. And I'm going to initialize all of them as 0. So let me initialize all of them as 0 so that we have all the counts here which are all zeros. So we have all of them zeros. Apart from that, we are supposed to find the count of digits and spaces. So let's go ahead and let's count the digits, which I'm going to initialize it as 0. And then we are supposed to initialize the spaces, which again I'm going to take it as a 0. I'm initializing all the variables. Then we are supposed to find the special characters. I'm going to initialize it with that, and then we are supposed to initialize the consonant. So this is what we are supposed to find. We are supposed to find the count of all of them, like the individual vowels, digits, spaces, special character, and consonant. This is all initialization. Now, as I've already told you, suppose if you are given a sentence like this, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to convert this into all capitals. So what I'm supposed to do, I'm going to convert it into like this. How do you do that? In your C program, you may have a function like upper, which will convert it into the uppercase. However, we don't have such a utility over here. Rather, we have a command called as translate. So what does the translate will do? Translate will translate the given set of string into a particular format. So we have to say there are two options which we are supposed to give. First one is what is the initial set of character and what will be the final set of characters. For example, if I say TR and if I say A, I am supposed to put it in double quotes, but I am ignoring it as of now. Then if I say A, what is the meaning of it is any A within this string has to be converted into capital A. So this is the input string. If the input string is A or input character is A, it has to be converted into the uppercase A. In the same way, if I write like this TR AB, and if I write AB, what is the meaning of it? If the input string is A, I am supposed to convert it into capital A. If the input string is B, I am supposed to convert it into capital B. Suppose if I want to write it for all the letters, then I am going to give the range A to Z. That means all small case A to Z has to be converted into capital A to Z. So what is the meaning of it? Any small case letter has to be converted into the corresponding capital letter. So suppose if I take the example which is over here, if I take the first letter H here, nothing is going to happen because H is not the input character, is not the small case character, so it will not be touched. However, if I take the E, you know that input character E is in small case, so it will be translated into the corresponding uppercase character, and that will be the capital E. The same thing, L is in the small case, it will be converted into capital L, and so on and so forth. So I'm supposed to get the character into small case into the uppercase. So end result of this will be this small the mixed case of a hello world will be converted into the capital hello world, because all the small case characters will be converted. So this is what is going to happen. It will be translated into the corresponding capital letters, and you will notice that when such a thing happens, everything will automatically get converted into capitals. So let me try to do that thing. How do I do that thing? So I will take remember this is what you will write in the C program. So you will say str is equal to upper of str. So this is what you will write in C program. I will do it in slightly different way. Just see what happens. The new string is equal to, again, to do anything we need to evaluate an expression $str. Okay, so why do you have to write the double quotes? That's a very important thing over here. Remember, if you don't type double quotes, what happens? If the given string, the string that you see over here, if the given string is hello, how are you? If this is the given string, then if you don't put the double quotes, what will happen is, if you don't put the things in double quotes, what will happen is the expression evaluator over here will consider this as a command, and it will say that such a command called hello does not exist. Then it will come to this one and say that this is also a command. It will treat it as a command, and it will say how is there is no such command called as how, and so on and so forth. So how do I avoid it is put the given text inside double quotes so that it will treat the whole thing as a text. So that is what I am doing it here. So I am taking the string from here and I am putting it in double quotes. Now what's the next thing I am supposed to do is I am supposed to give it to the translator so that translator can translate it. So how do I do that? You know very well, if you want to send something to the other side, you pipe it. So I am going to pipe the character to the other side. So let me do that thing. Okay, pipe it to tr. Okay, and what is that I am supposed to do? I am supposed to convert the small case, all small case character into all uppercase character. So this is what I'm giving the range. So what happens with this is the small case characters will be converted into the uppercase character. I think I have extra spaces there. It's okay. Okay. Let's go ahead and let's do the next part. And the next part is Okay, next part I'm going to do is I am supposed to get, so now what I have done here is I have, now let's assume that if the given string was hello world, and when this line is executed, what I'm going to get is hello, hello world. Okay, this is what I'm going to get. So I have translated the small case hello world into capital hello world. So once that is done, what am I supposed to do is I am supposed to extract one character from here, take one character and check whether it is a vowel or whether it is a special case or a special character, space, and so on and so forth, and correspondingly increment the counter. Similarly, I take the second character, check whether it is the vowel, okay, and then correspondingly I'm going to increment it. Similarly, I'm going to take the next one and I am supposed to increment it. So this is how I am supposed to do the calculation. Now the question comes to me is, when will I stop it? So that's the first thing. I will stop it when all the characters are being used up. So I'm going to stop this when all the characters are being exhausted. So in other words, at a time, I am going to take one character and then check the thing. Okay, I will to find the length of the string. We can use the length function. So in your C program, you had a length function. Let's say you had a length function like this. Length of a string would give you the length of the string. Okay, length of the string. This is going to give you the length of the string. In the same way, I can also find the length of the string, but not using the len function, but the function that I'm going to use here is the length itself. So let me try to find the length. Again, I need to evaluate the expression. So I'm going to say expression inside the double quotes. I need to find the length. So how do we find the length? So you don't use the word length, len, but you use the word length, the full word length, to find the length of the string. So unlike your length function, len function in your C program, here we have the length function. Now once I get the length, I will start iterating from the first element to the next element. What do I mean by saying that is, suppose the string that is given to you, which is now in all capitals because I have converted into all capitals here. So once I do this, the entire string will be converted into the capitals. Now I know the length of it, whatever may be it, I know the length of this particular string. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start from the first element. So I is equal to 1. I'm going to start. Next time I'm going to go to the second element, third element, and so on until the end of all the elements. So how do we do that thing? A very obvious thing. We are going to use the while loop. So I'm going to say while the $I is less than or equal to $len function. Let's go to the do, and I'm going to go for the done. So this will be my function, and in that function I'm going to do many things, and finally I need to increment the value of I, so that in the while loop you say I plus plus, but here I'm going to say while expression $I is equal to $I plus 1. This is I plus plus. You know, in the inside the while loop you have that as a common thing. Now the next thing that we are supposed to do is we know the length of it. Now suppose if you are given the string hello world, how do you extract a substring from a given string? If you recall, in your C program you had a substring function. So substring, you are already familiar, the string name, okay, starting location, and write it all here. So let me write slightly here. So how do you do that thing? So substring is your function, and the string that you want to extract the substring from, the starting location, and the number of characters. Okay, this is what you do. For example, just to give you an example, this is your C program. So substring, let's say that itself is a string, str is the string, starting location 3 and number of character 1. What am I going to get it? So this is the first letter. Let's assume that this is the string, first character, second character, third character. So third character, and how many characters? From the third location, only one character I am extracting. So what I'm going to get here is I'm going to get the L. So this is how you do it. So starting from, this is the starting location. So starting location and get it. Suppose instead of this, if I write like this, sub string, given string, let's assume that it is str, and from I and 1. So this is not this I, from I to 1. So 1 is, this is I, this is 1. So what is it's going to do? When I is equal to 1, so when I is equal to 1, you are going to get the first character, that is you are going to get the H. When you increment the I by saying I is equal to I plus plus, so I value is going to become a 2. So you are going to get the next character, that is the second character. When I is equal to I plus plus, that is I is equal to I plus 1, so I value becomes 3, and you are going to get the next character. So as the value of this I increments from 1 up to the length of the string, you will be able to extract one character at a time. So let's try to do that thing. So how am I going to do that? I'll take the variable as ch, and again I need to evaluate the expression. So I'm going to say expression substring is substring. So name of the string $str, so that will be the name of the string. Then starting location is I, number of character is 1. So this is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to extract one character at a time. So once you get the individual character, so suppose say you have this letter hello world, and you extracted this one letter. Let's assume that you have extracted this letter. Okay, and what are you going to do? You are going to compare and see whether it is a vowel, whether it is a digit, whether it is a consonant, and so on and so forth. So once you get one character, so that is here, once you get one character at a time, you have to check whether it is a vowel, whether it is a integer, and so on, whether it is a digit, and so on and so forth. So let's try to do that. I'm going to use the case statement. So case $ch in. And how do you close the case statement? By the way, how to close the case statement? So case, you have to write it in the reverse word. How do you close the if statement? So if you start with the if, how do you close it? You close it with the fi, that is the reverse of if. If you start with the case, you will have to go in the reverse order, ESAC. So ESAC, that's going to close the case statement. Now once you know how to close the case statement, let me remove this. Okay, so this is what you're going to do, and we will go for individual case. So first case is capital A, so this is AEIOU, so we are going to go for the first one, that is this is the one. if if the letter that I'm going to get is A, then I am supposed to increment the count for A. Because it is a vowel, I will increment the counter as expr $ca plus 1. So if the extracted character is A, then increment the count for A. And you write break statement in case statement, but we use double semicolon to instead of that break statement. Then I have to do it for all the others. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just paste this many a times, and I'm going to do it. So which are the letters that we have? A, E, I, O, U. That is what we have. A, I, O, U. I'm going to use this one. A, I, O, U. I have written it in all capitals because I have already converted everything into capitals. You know that thing. So if it is A, if the extracted character is A, then I will increment the counter of A. If the extracted character is E, then I will increment the count of E. If the extracted character is I, then I'm going to increment the counter for I. In the same way, if it is O, I'm going to increment the counter for O. In the same way, if it is U, I'm going to increment the counter of U. So that completes one part. What's the next thing that we are supposed to do? We are supposed to go for the digits. So how do you mention the digit? I'm going to give the range 0 to 9 as the digit. So you know that the digit, somehow it's not showing me the PDF, so it's all right. So if it is the digit, then I'm going to increment the digits. So how do you increment the digit? Digit is incremented by expression $digit plus 1. If it is a digit, I will increment the value of a digit. And what's the next thing? I will not be able to, I think this is in some other mode. I pressed F12 for then this is there in some other mode. Okay. So if it is a digit, then we have spaces. Next one is for the spaces. Okay, so the next is for spaces. So let's go for the spaces there. So how do I get the space? So I start with the quote here, and I'm going to double quote. This is one space between the two double quotes, and then that in that case, that is spaces equal to expression dollar spaces plus 1. Okay, I think it is showing me in some different color. I don't know why. EXPR, I'm not very sure why it just started showing me EX spaces as something that I didn't expected, but let me see what has happened. So I'm not very sure. Oh, this is EXPR. Oh, I think I have not closed the backquote here. Okay, so that's why it is showing me. Okay, so somehow I got because I was saved because of the color coding there. Okay, so the next thing that we are supposed to do is we are supposed to count for the consonants. Now, how do I get the consonants? So we know that A, E, I, O, U are the vowels. In between them, all the characters are consonant. So what comes after A? B. Then what you have? C. Then you have D. After that you have E. So you start with A, B, C, D. This is a range that I'm given. B to D is the range. So after E, what you get? F. So I have to go up to I. So E, F, G, H, I. So I have to go up to H. So E, F, G, H, then what I have is I. I is a vowel, so I can't consider the vowel. What is the next consonant after I? So E F G H I J, okay, K L M N O. So up to N I can go. So because up to N it is a consonant. Okay, after N you have the vowel O. After O what you have? So L M N O P Q R S T U. So up to T I can go. I will use the capital T, okay, because I have already converted it into capital. So P Q R S T U. After U what you get? So V W X Y Z. So this is what you get. So all these are, this is the range: B to D one range, E to F one range, J to N one range, P to T one range, B to Z one range. These are all, what are they? They are all consonant. So I'm going to place them in the square bracket and I will remove the extra spaces that I put in between them. So this is the one large range. So if that's the case, then what I'm supposed to do? I'm supposed to increment the consonant by saying expr dollar consonant plus 1. Okay, and that's all we need to do. We have calculated everything, and this while loop will repeat for all the character. You just check whether it is a, extract one character, get one substring, check whether it is a IOU, increment it, otherwise check whether it is a digit, you increment it, otherwise you check whether it is a space, you increment it, otherwise it is a consonant, you increment the consonant. And what's the last thing that we are supposed to do? The last thing that we are supposed to do is check for the special character. If none of them are matching, then I can say this is a special character. It is not a vowel, it is not a digit, it is not a space, it is not a consonant, and naturally it must be a special character. So I'm going to say special plus 1. So it must be a special character. So that's all we need to do within the while loop. Let's start printing each and every one of them. So echo, I'm going to say count of vowel A is, and I'm going to say count is CA. Okay, similarly I have to do it for all the vowels. Because I know how to copy paste it, I'm going to just copy paste this. I'm pasting it a few times. So count of A, E, I, O, U. These are all vowels. So corresponding counter is AE, CE, and CI. That is the counter for I, CO, next counter, and last one CU, next counter. What's the next thing that I'm supposed to do? So count of digits. Let's say count of digits is dollar digits. What's the next thing that I'm supposed to do? So after that, count of spaces. So let's go here. Count of spaces is dollar spaces. What about the next thing? So we have spaces. Count of consonants. So let's say count of consonants is dollar consonants. Okay, and then what else we are left with? Count of a special character. So let's say special character is dollar special. Okay, so that's all. I think we have everything. So special character, spaces, and so on and so forth. So I have displayed all of them. Maybe you can think of putting echo. I will not go for the coloring, but you know how to get the colors. So every time it's not really required for you to tell you that how to get the colors things, but get the output whenever you are showing the output, get it in a slightly neat manner. So this is what we are going to do it. So let's copy this, Control C to copy it. I have my, oh, I forgot to get my Ubuntu. So let me get this Ubuntu. It will take some time for the Ubuntu to pop up and show. So please kindly wait for that. So it will take some time for it to show the Ubuntu, but this is what we have done. So by the time it takes, let's look at what else we are supposed to do. See, in the next set of program, we can do the same thing in the Ubuntu, the one that which is over here. There are few things that you can't do. One of the things that you can't do with this prompt is you can't check who has logged in. It's not possible because this particular prompt that you see here is a single user. It's not a multi-user prompt, so you will not be able to, two people cannot log in to this particular system. So I will clear this. So if you type the command who, it will not work, but if you say who am I, it's going to show that thing because it's a single user that is getting logged in. So there is some minor problem with it. We will try to deal with it later. So first of all, let's ls it. So we have BSc here. I will go into BSc. So I'm inside BSc now. Inside BSc, if I ls, you will see there are a lot of programs are there. I think I have the 6, which is the trial run that I have done. So I'm going to first remove that. You may not get that 6 here. I will remove that first and then try to use exb6.sh. So I have it here. Let me right click on it and let me use Control O, enter, Control X, exit. Then I'm going to say shexb6.sh. So enter a sentence. I'm going to say the question. Okay, let me say that. And the question is to be or not to be, and question mark. Let's see how is it going to work out. So I'm not getting anything there, or everything is 0. What's wrong with it? Okay, I'm not getting even one of them. So all of them are 0. The reason maybe it's not entering the while loop. Let's look at the problem. Let's try to solve this particular problem here. So am I getting that length expression, length of str? Okay, I have this str. Oh, sorry, this if you look at here, I have t extra here. That's a typo there. One t was extra was there, so this entire thing became 0. Let me try and copy it one more time. Sorry about that. So let's look at that. Control C. I have to go out of this one and let me clear it first for you, and let me remove that exp6 and let me nano this and then just paste it. Control O and Control X. So let me run it. So and let me start with, and the question is to be or not to be, and a question mark. Oh, there is a syntax error, unexpected +1 in the argument. So let's look at that one. I think I have not put the space there. This problem is there because I would like to thank KEB for making a power cut every now and then. If you have just realized it, this video is actually paused and recreated. Okay, so there is somewhere I have +1 where I put the spaces, but it is not showing me where is that. Okay, let me check, and if let me, I have to try 2 to 3 times in order for me to exactly figure out where is it. But let's try remove it and let me try it, and let me exit it and let me see whether I'm able to get it. And the question is to be, to not to n, to be or not to be. Let's see whether I'm able to get that. Okay, I'm getting it. So there was one minor syntax errors. Okay, let's look at what we have got. So whether I think one extra has come. Let's see what is the thing. So let's start with the a. It says that there is only one a. So there is only one a, and okay, then it says there are two e's are there. So one e is here and the next e is here. So there are two e's are there. It says there are two i's are there. So one I is here and the second I is here. Okay, there are three o's are there. One o is here, second o is here, third o is here. One u is there. So one u is there. Okay, two digits are there. So one digit and the second digit is there. Seven spaces are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, consonants I am not getting. Okay, but the special character I am already getting it. So I am not able to get the consonants, but instead I am getting the 15 special character. So let me check what is the problem there. So I have some issues there. So what is that I am not getting? So B to D, F to H, J to N, T to V. Okay, so it's all there. Consonant is equal to, but it just takes it. Okay, I think I am sorry about again. Sorry about that. I have not closed that square bracket. Okay, so that's why it's just escaping it out. So I think this will be the final run. So there will be some minor issues every now and then, but yeah. Let's try, and let's try to try it for the last time. So this is Control O and Control X, and let me run it for the last time. So enter the sentence, and the question is to be or not to be, and a question mark. Let's see what you get. Okay, now again the consonant I am not getting the count, but rest is there. Let me again check what is it. Okay, one other small minor mistake. This is CONS, but a typo at the last minute is CONS. It should have been, this is the variable. You see there, this is the variable, but I missed the variable. Sorry about it. Again, let's try one more time. It's going to increase your video, I know that, but I can't help it. So let me remove it, let me nano it, and let me Control O and Control X. Let me run it, and then I'm going to use the same thing, and let's start with the capital, and the question is to be or not to be, and a question mark. I hope everything is proper now. Okay, now it is proper. There will be 14 consonants. You can check and find out on yourself. Okay, one will be the character. That's all. I will not talk more about it because I've already consumed a lot of time. Thank you for your interest. We will meet again in the next class.